And that's when I notice like, oh, you're one of those. You have a fetish for black people. Greetings and welcome to Kinky's Data Breach. I am the professional alien, and today I'm giving y'all a story time. Okay, so this one is gonna be really funny, and well, to me it's really funny. Y'all might not find it funny, so we'll see, I guess. But okay, I'm just gonna jump right into it. So a couple of weeks ago, I was going to work, and so just so y'all know, on Saturdays I deliver papers, and so I'm on my way out. My boyfriend asked me because I needed to use his car because my car is like going through some troubles right now. So I leave out to go do what my boyfriend asked me to, which was drop something off at the post office. When I get to the post office, I now the way our post office is like built, the way that you come into the door, there's like when you're facing you, there are like the little PO boxes, but then like the way that it is like there's like a wall of them, and it kind of angles off and turns into like the counter a little bit further back, so you've got a little bit of a room to walk across before you get to the counter. So I walk in. One thing that I immediately notice is that there is a man standing kind of in well, he is in line. He's the only person in line other than the two people that were already being helped. And he's standing in line, but he's standing in a way so that every time that someone comes into the door, he can see them. So I'll notice that, but I don't really think anything of it because I'm like, well, I guess he just wants to be aware of his surroundings. So I walk up and he gives me his place in line. He like gestures for me to get in front of him, which is kind of just like, okay, whatever. We had like one item apiece, so it really wouldn't have mattered. We're not going to get in and out of here really too much faster than each other. But whatever. He let me go in front of him. I was like, oh, cool, nice gesture. Took it, went ahead, blah, blah, blah. So I finish my little thing in the post office. I check out, I mail off the package. I go back outside, and like I said, I'm driving my boyfriend's car. So at the time, the undercarriage of his car was like a little loose. Like one of the screws had popped loose, and so it was dragging. And so I was like thinking in my head, like, oh, I'm gonna go to Walmart, buy like whatever the screws in and stuff that I need is, and then like just put it on or whatever before I go driving for like, I gotta drive a lot. So I'm under the car. I look to see what I need, and then I get out, get back into the car actually, and the man from inside like pulls up alongside me. So I'm like looking at my phone, and I like hear the car like next to me, and so I look up, and he's just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Hello," and he's like, "Do you need any help?" And I'm like, "Oh no, like it's fine. I just need to fix the undercarriage of my car. Like it's no big deal. I'm about to go to Walmart." "Oh, well, let me see if I can help you." "No, no, it's fine, honestly. No, no, I got it. It's fine." So he parks in front of me, and at this point, like, I want y'all to know, I am illegally parked, okay, in this parking lot. I, like, the parking spaces are diagonal. I am parked across, like, 2.5 parking spaces. And so he parks, like, directly in front of me the exact same way. So he gets out and he goes, and I like get out of the car. I'm like, oh fuck. And he is go like gets down and looks under the car, and he's like, oh, he tries to like snatch at it, and I'm like, oh, I already did that, and he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to get this removed. Like you're not gonna probably be able to just like, fix this. And so I'm like, oh dang, okay. So then I'm like, okay, well thanks, thinking like this is gonna be the end of it. I get to go, right? No. Well, come on over here to the Firestone, and they'll probably take it off for free. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Now I don't know the validity of this, but I'm pretty sure they're not, because it's gonna require them to lift the damn car up, and that's labor. And so I call my boyfriend, and I'm like, hey, just so you know, in case I like get us like murdered or I come up missing, some guy like at the post office offered to, or he's taking me to Firestone to see if they'll remove the undercarriage of the car for free. So we pull to this Firestone. It literally takes us like less than 60 seconds to get there. We pull to this Firestone, and he immediately gets out of the car and is greeted by the mechanics, and all of the mechanics know him here. So this is one of those moments where it's like, you've done this before, because all of the mechanics are just like, oh hey, I'm gonna call him Clarence for, liability purpose. Hey, Clarence, how are you? What's up, Clarence? And he's like, oh, hey, yeah, she needs her undercarriage, swapped around or taken off. It's like kind of broken, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, cool. We can do that, blah, blah, blah. He walks inside with the mechanic that's inside, I guess, checking out and stuff, pays for it, and then comes back out. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and handle that for you. I already paid for it. Paid for it. You just said they might do it free. So now I'm sitting there like, oh god, like this guy's gonna be expecting something because he paid for this dang car thing to be fixed. And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we're sitting there waiting because I had to get out of the car to wait for them to like move the car and take it out and everything. And as we're talking, like he just immediately sparks up conversation and starts talking to me. And this man, like, he tells me like a lot about himself. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I was with this man and standing in front of this Firestone for an hour and a half because that is how much he talked. And 99% of what this man talked about from start to finish involved racism. Every single part of this conversation, there was even a little bit of like homophobia sprinkled in there, y'all. Like, it was wild. This man starts telling me about how so where I live there's an HBCU. He starts telling me how he went to and graduated from the local HBCU, which is nice. Like, that's cool, whatever. But I don't care. How he has a black brother who spent his life in prison until he died because of, as he called it, some white folk, or in this particular situation with involving his brother, a little white girl. That's exactly how he was saying it, y'all. And that's when I noticed like, oh, you're one of those. You have a fetish for black people. And your fetish just so happens to also include the fact that you are probably just a little bit racist, even if it is like not intentionally. Because the entire time he's talking to me, he refers to any white person as them white folks, or that white person, or that white girl, or them white men. And, oh yeah, and black people this and black people that. But, he's constantly making sure to try to make sure that black people are on the positive end of whatever it is he's saying to me. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, like, why are you doing this to me? Like, I just want to go. So there even comes up a moment where he like brings up how a certain cartoon that he like grew up on or something is coming off the TV now, and he's like, yeah, they're being so sensitive. You don't want to show certain things on the TV because it has sexual innuendos, it has sexual things in it for kids. But then you've got your kids watching y'all. This is the part that kills me, y'all. He dead ass. He meant JoJo Siwa, right? He did not call her JoJo Siwa. He called JoJo something like Jonah Caesar, and I'm like, who? It took me a moment to realize he was talking about JoJo Siwa because he referred to the fact that she was a lesbian, and I'm just like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, that's not even what, huh? So, at this point, I'm just standing there uncomfortably, and at some point throughout the conversation, like, I looked over at his car, and it was a like 2020 Jeep Wrangler, right? Or it was a newer Jeep Wrangler, I'll say. He told me it was a 2020. And so he's like, I'm like, oh, does your, like, the doors and stuff come off your car, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, cool. I want a Jeep. I'd like to go mudding one day. Oh, well, come and get my car. Yeah, I'll take the doors off for you, and the hood, it rolls backwards back there, and it'll, you can come and get my car. Y'all, this man dead ass tells me to take his number because he is going to let me use his vehicle to go mudding. And not even just that, he then uses that as a reason to segue into telling me about how some black woman that he knew, he just like let use his car so that she could go to her 2 jobs all the time, or one of his many cars, because he was telling me how he has the Jeep and he's got like a Porsche and he's got like a BMW and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, okay, sir, why are you telling me this? You don't know me. And then like to give me your number and then be like, yeah, just come, pick up any of my cars whenever you want. It's like, Clearly you think that you're going to get something from me that you are not. And I think what I found the funniest about this entire situation is that when he asked me whose car it was, and I told him it was my boyfriend's, he like completely skims over the fact that I say I have a man, y'all. Like completely skims over it. And I'm just sitting there like, I just want I just want to leave. I just want to go to work. So, which he did eventually let me leave, but this was like it was a mess, y'all. He was sitting up talking about the mechanics because they made sure to look at that white girl that passed us, but they probably ain't even took a glance at you when you standing here looking like how you is, and I'm just like, I just want to go home. I'm standing here looking like I want to go home. So yeah, that was one of the many awkward encounters that I've had with men. And if y'all want to hear about some more of these, definitely let me know. I'm actually gonna make a video on the time that one threatened to kidnap me, and that one isn't nearly as necessary. Like the situation didn't last as long, so that'll be like a really quick video. But it's wild, y'all. Like dead serious. Some man like in flirting with me thought it would be cute to threaten to kidnap me. So if y'all want to hear about that, definitely leave a comment down in the comment section below. Have you, of course, most people have probably had like an awkward conversation or situation like this in public. If you have, tell me a little bit about it down below. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to check me out some more in the future. Check out some of my other videos. And with that being said, that's all I've got to say today. So, alien out.